Hey guys, it's Chris from howtostartanything.com, and today we're going to show you how to grow your YouTube channel in the year 2020. I started YouTube back in the year 2015, very early 2015, so I've seen the highs and lows, I've seen the roller coaster ride that it is. So now I'm going to show you the strategies I learned over the years to grow my channel, and if you follow these strategies, you will grow on YouTube. It will not be overnight. Well, I should say very rarely it would be overnight, but these things will help you grow if you stick to them and stick to these principles. So if you want to learn how to do things online, like grow your YouTube channel, maybe start a blog, start a podcast, etc., or even make money online, go ahead and start your journey by clicking subscribe below. So let's jump right in and talk about how to grow your YouTube channel in the year 2020, and we're going to start right now. All right, and as usual on this channel, I do have an accompanying article on my website, howtostartanything.com, that will be linked in the description below. As usual here on this channel, we like to jump in and actually show you how to do these things as opposed to just talking about theory. So anyway, let's jump right in and follow along here in the article I have put up on the screen here. So you started your YouTube channel and you want to grow now. You got an idea of what you want to do, but you may not be exactly where you want to be at as far as getting into a specific niche, and we'll talk about that here shortly. So the first thing you want to do, step number one, you have to start with search. Now, you're going to hear a lot if you watch any of these type of videos that suggested videos is the way to grow on YouTube, and it absolutely is true. You have to get into suggested videos, and that will certainly accelerate your growth. But you can't get into suggested videos until you get started and start to build a catalog, and you have to start with search so you can get immediate eyes on your content, and that will certainly help you grow faster and will eventually help you get into suggested videos. So how do you start with search? You're going to start with keywords. Now, there are a lot of keywords to make content around, and there's lots of good tools out there to find keywords such as Google Trends. The idea here is that you want to search your keywords, find that topic before you ever hit the record button. You do not want to make a video and then try to figure out how to, work keywords in around it. Do your research and find the keywords you want to use first. What I suggest you do is really, really simple. Take advantage of the two biggest search engines in the world, that would be Google and YouTube, and let them tell you what's being searched for. So if we jump right here to the computer, for example, I will go to YouTube, and just using my example here, I'll type in how to, and then hit space and let that autofill, and you can see these are the top search terms for the term how to. So you got how to tie a tie, how to draw, how to solve a Rubik's Cube, how to wrap a gift, all that kind of stuff. So you have all kinds of autofill results here, and these are the most searched terms at the current time. Now what you want to do, of course, you're not just going to start with how to, but you want to kind of narrow it down a little bit more by adding a little bit more to this search term. So for example, I'm going to type in how to grow, and then hit space, and you have how to grow your beard faster and longer, how to grow a beard, how to grow taller. I'm not really sure that's going to work. How to grow your YouTube channel. So right there it is, one of the most searched terms for how to grow. So let that autofill and tell you what you want to do. So then what I would do in my specific case is I would go and select that term, hit space again. So that narrows it down even more specifically to what people are searching for under the how to grow type of thing. So we have how to grow a YouTube channel fast, how to grow a YouTube channel gaming, how to grow a YouTube channel 2020. All these specific things gives me ideas about what to make content about. So take advantage of Google and YouTube in this very way and let them tell you exactly what's being searched for on the platform you're trying to grow in. And step number two, you want to rank your videos. So how do you rank to be found in search? I'm going to go over a couple little things here. We'll talk about these more in depth in a little bit, but first we have to talk about thumbnails. Now I know you've heard this a million times, but you have to have standout thumbnails. There's so many content creators out there. There's so many billions of hours of content put up every single day. You have to stand out in some way. So you want to make good, clean thumbnails, typically very clean, usually saturated colors, very minimal text, but big blocky text so it's very clear, and maybe some clickbaity, and I mean ethical clickbait type of things in the thumbnail. For example, using the word secret or hack or whatever, or maybe even asking a question. Those are the things that get people attracted to your thumbnail. You have to use that to catch their eye to win the click. And the other thing that's working along with thumbnails, of course, is next your title. You have to have your title properly set up to work with your thumbnail. Think of your title as your resume after they saw your thumbnail and it caught their eye. Now the title sells them on whether to click the video or not. Now, of course, in your title, this is where you start to leverage those keywords we talked about in step one. You might want to typically start your title with the keywords you're wanting to focus on, but it can also work in reverse. So for example here, I will probably label this video, how to grow your YouTube channel in 2020 - get monetized, or something to that effect. But another example of a title I could use here to kind of put the keywords in the back end of the title would be something like make more money, how to grow your YouTube channel in 2020. So the keywords are still in there. They're just near the end of the title as far as how to grow on YouTube. But the make more money is also a very popular keyword as well that people are searching for, because a lot of people are trying to find out how to make money online. So that will be a very valid title. So you want to use your title and thumbnails in combination to earn the click. Now, once you earn the click, you have to provide what's called value. You have to provide something to the viewer that they are going to get out of it. So let's be honest here. They're not going to care what your name is and your background and all that unless you provide some kind of value to them over time. All that stuff will come later where they get to know you, and that's exactly what you want to go for. But at the beginning, you have to make sure you provide value, and of course, always provide value to maintain your audience, but you have to provide something valuable for them to sit there and watch. So with that, you want to focus on your average view duration for each individual video, because ultimately all YouTube cares about is watch time. So how do you do that? You focus on each individual video and getting people to watch as much of that video as possible. I highly suggest you go at least for 70% watch time. Now, of course, ideally, you want people to watch the entire video, 100% of it. But let's be honest, that's not always going to happen. So at least go for 50%, but I highly, highly recommend you go for at least 70% retention time. So for example, if you make a 10-minute video, you want people to watch at least 5 minutes of that, if not 7 to 8 minutes of that video. And that will be a good signal towards the YouTube algorithm to push your video out to more people, and that will help you start getting into suggested videos. And next, of course, you have SEO. Of course, this stands for search engine optimization, and all that really is on YouTube. It's really very simple to actually rank videos. Now, you will get outranked due to bigger channels because they have what's called channel authority, but you will still get results and traffic from search if you set up your videos properly with SEO. All this really means is tripling up your keywords and using those in the title and the tags as well as the description. And another thing people don't mention a lot, you also want to say these keywords in your actual video, because YouTube transcribes each individual video so they can confirm that the video is indeed about what your keywords and your title tells you the video is about. So make sure you repeat your keywords throughout your video. For example, in this video, I should be saying how to grow your YouTube channel in 2020 many times throughout the video, and that will tell YouTube that this video is indeed about my title, which will be labeled how to grow your YouTube channel in 2020, and that will help it understand what the actual video is. And number 3, keep them watching. You have to set the hook. You have to hook people at the beginning of your video. Typically, jump straight into the content, maybe even provide a little teaser to something that's going to happen throughout the video. You could use a bit of comedy, for example, maybe an outtake or something that will make somebody laugh and stick around to see what you have to say. Or perhaps even going back to your thumbnail, maybe you kind of tease part of the answer to the question you posed in that thumbnail. That way people will want to stick around and watch to the end and get the full answer to the question you posed in the thumbnail originally. So be sure to hook them at the beginning, jump right into the content. Don't spend 3 or 4 minutes talking about this and that and what you're going to do. Just jump right in and do it. The key here is to think about each one of your videos as far as providing value as a window into your little world, into your channel. So you want to make the best out of each video. So no matter what video people come across, you're giving them more of an opportunity to click and possibly even subscribe to your channel, which is going to obviously help build a long-term fan base or a community, and that's the goal of the whole entire thing. And number 4, use the piggyback method. Now the piggyback method is pretty simple concept. We'll jump right here and show you how to do that. You want to find creators in your space and put your own spin on their most popular videos, or at least draw inspiration. Now, I'm not saying copy content whatsoever. All I mean is draw inspiration from what they do and what's working for them, and you want to basically emulate their success because they obviously have successful videos. So how do you do that? All right, so in my example, I would go over here to use the piggyback method. I would go over here to a channel in my space as far as how to grow on YouTube and how to do things on YouTube, etc. And for example, you have Brian G. Johnson, you have Nick Nimmons, a couple of really great creators. So I'll just use Brian G for an example. So I'll go over here and type in Brian G. Johnson, go to his channel, and then I'm going to go to his channel here, and then once I get there, I'm going to click his videos tab, and then I'm going to go here to the right hand side, and I'm going to sort by and then most popular. So what this is going to do is going to give me a list of his most popular videos no matter when he uploaded them since he started his channel. So for example, here we have iMovie Special Effects, iPhone, iPad, iOS right here that got 664,000 views. How to get more views in YouTube in 3 minutes. That one's obviously a very good video, 347,000 views. YouTube Simplified over here with 232,000 views. YouTube algorithm, why videos blow up. So these are obviously things that I'll be kind of studying here as to what's working for him. Now, obviously, I'm taking a look at the thumbnails. I'm looking at the titles. I'm going to watch the content itself and see how he holds people, what his production quality is like, and he has very good production quality, by the way. But anyway, what I'm doing here is I'm not going to take his content, but for example, I could take this video, how to get more views on YouTube in 3 minutes, and maybe watch that and make a what I consider a better version of that video, put my own spin on it, maybe add a few tips and tricks of my own, and then I could use this video to kind of piggyback off of, because I guarantee you, if you click this video right here, we'll go over here and I'll just pause it here, but we'll let this little vidIQ tool load up, and this is still getting 43.7 views per hour. So although this video is older, this video is still getting 43.7 views per hour. So this is like evergreen content, because there's always going to be people searching on YouTube for how to grow on YouTube. So I would study this video, I would watch the whole thing, take a look at his description, his tags, his title, all that good stuff, and learn from that. So I'm not saying rip people off, I'm just saying draw inspiration and then follow suit and piggyback off their success. And the fifth step to growing on YouTube in 2020, see, notice I threw that keyword in there, is to engage. Engage, engage, engage. Take the time to reply to every single comment if you possibly can, or do the best that you can. When you first start out, you have plenty of time. You're not going to get that many comments. You're not going to get that many likes, but every single piece of engagement counts. So you want to add to that tally as well by adding more comments. And the more important thing is you will gain more subscribers simply by interacting with the people commenting on your videos. Most YouTubers simply don't do this. I've had many people over the years tell me that they subscribe because I actually replied to their comment and engaged with them in some type of conversation. I've had also people reply to me when I replied to negative comments, when I've actually killed them with kindness and thank them for the feedback. If they said something they didn't like about the video or whatever, I actually thank them for the feedback, and then they actually replied and said, "That's really cool that you replied. I'm now going to subscribe. I really appreciate it." Also, this includes commenting on other people's videos in your genre, in your niche, or whatever in your community. And I certainly don't mean going to spam their channels. I don't mean self-promotion, any of that kind of stuff. I mean, actual well thought out comments, because if people like that comment, they can click your name or your avatar and go find you as well. So essentially what you're doing is you're contributing to the community that you're trying to build, and people will appreciate that. They'll go check out yours based off your comment, and that will draw in more views and therefore subscribers. And I will take a quick little break here to do a little call to action. If you think I'm providing you value with this video right here that you're watching, please do me a favor and hit that like button or the dislike button if you don't like it, and be sure to hit that subscribe button as well, and that will help me out a lot. And this is the kind of thing you want to do throughout your video. Once you started providing value, go ahead and close the sale. We'll talk about that in a second, but ask for people to subscribe and like to your channel once you provided them something. Anyway, on to step number 6, niche down. We mentioned this earlier. Once you start your YouTube channel, you don't really know exactly what your channel is going to be, or you may have an idea of what it's going to be, but you don't really know who your audience is. But once you have a catalog of videos, I would say at least 30 to 40 videos out there, then you have a lot more data to work with, and you really kind of start knowing who your audience is so you can cater to them and follow up on that type of content. So for example, when I started my channel, I did TV and movies and all this kind of stuff, but I did all kinds. I did Star Wars, I did Game of Thrones, I did The Walking Dead, I did movie reviews. But when I had started building up a catalog, I quickly realized that once I did Game of Thrones videos, those got a bigger response than anything else. So I eventually niched down and focused solely on Game of Thrones for a while. Now, obviously, the other side to that is that was a TV show that ended. So on the other side of that, don't put yourself into some arbitrary box that you can't get out of. So you want to do, other things, but you want to focus on that type of content. And that's a big deal as far as how to grow faster, because you're basically piggybacking off yourself. So for example, if you have a video that you drop and it does really, really good, you start to see it kind of blow up a little bit compared to your usual videos. Let's say, for example, a typical video gets 100 views, but this video you drop starts to get 400, 500, 600 views. You're going to go to your analytics and find out probably it's being suggested. If that's the case, you immediately want to take advantage of that and follow up with similar content on the similar keywords or similar topics to help your new video piggyback off your old one, and it will be a lot more likely to be suggested alongside that current video that's doing really, really well. And number 7, learn analytics. You have to know your numbers and what they actually mean. So don't get obsessed with your numbers, but really try to understand what they mean. I mean, if you like numbers and that type of thing, sure, get obsessed with them. But analytics are the thing that tells you exactly what's going on with your channel. So we'll jump over here on YouTube and I'll show you exactly what I mean. I have this screenshot up on the website as well, so this will be there. If you go to the YouTube studio, now I have this set for the last 365 days, or the last year. YouTube tells you exactly what they want. They want watch time. If you go over here to the Reach tab, so you have Overview, then you go to Reach, scroll down here to the Views funnel. This is telling you what's important to YouTube. So you have up here, you have your impressions. Now an impression is anytime a thumbnail is shown to anybody anywhere, that counts as an impression. Then you have what's called your click-through rate. Right here you see 5.7%. So out of 44.9 million impressions, 5.7% of those people clicked on a thumbnail, which ended up getting me 2.5 million views from those impressions, with an average view time of 6 minutes and 17 seconds, which ended up getting me to the bottom here, and this is what they care about, a total of 266,000 watch hours. And this is the bottom line. This is what YouTube wants. If you focus on this funnel here by increasing impressions and increasing your click-through rate because of good thumbnails, you will get more views and hopefully good watch time because you're providing value in your content, and that will get you more and more watch time, and that's the snowball effect you want, because then those videos are going to start getting suggested, and that's how you really start to grow on YouTube. So what matters in the end is actual watch time. So here's a few tips to kind of increase that watch time, and it starts back with thumbnails. So we mentioned this before a little bit. So here's an example of a thumbnail that I have used recently. This is going to kind of ask a question of you, if you're a viewer of this type of thing, the same ending, because this is something a lot of people want to know. Will the books have the same ending as the show? So you can see I have same ending question mark. And that kind of provokes an emotional response because you want to know the answer to that question, or you may have a strong opinion as to whether that's going to be true or not. So as you can see with this thumbnail, I think it's fairly clean, minimal words. I'm not repeating my whole entire title here, but it has a popular face in it. If you saw this character, you know who that is, even if you're not a big fan of the show, more than likely. But if you are, you definitely know who it is. So this kind of provokes an emotional response because people want to know, will the books have the same ending? Another thing, do not repeat your title in your thumbnail. That's what the title is for. They should work together for you to earn that click. As I mentioned before, get straight into the content. Try to hook them in the beginning with something to keep them on the video watching longer, and then use those editing tricks like panning, fast zooms, screenshots, animations, whatever, to keep their eye busy to have them watch more of that video. And another really important tip here, do not use phrases near the end of your video like, okay, that'll do it for now, guys, unless you already have end screens on the damn screen. If you start saying basically, hey, everybody, the video is over, they're going to start clicking off, and you may talk for another 1 or 2 minutes or whatever. So make sure you stay away from that unless you already have the end screen up on your screen, so they're likely to click another video. So you definitely want to suggest people, hey, click here for another video, and I'll see you over there. I'll give you an example of that at the end of this video, so be sure to stick around to the very end. I know this is a little bit long, but I wanted it to be thorough. So all these little tips I just gave you will help increase, your watch time through that funnel we talked about. You want to have really good thumbnails so you get a higher CTR. That higher CTR leads to more views, and then of course in each individual video, you want each of those views to last as long as possible to have a high average view duration, and that in turn collectively on each video on your channel will lead to higher total watch time, and that's the bottom of that little funnel we talked about. And this is the thing that will get you into suggested videos, which is the real key to growing fast on YouTube. And tip number 8, be consistent. Now, everybody knows what time their favorite TV show comes on, right? I mean, everybody does this. Why should it be any different on YouTube? Now, this is something that I failed at a lot, but I upload weekly anyway, multiple videos a week. Typically, if you start uploading even once a week, every, let's say, Wednesday, as you kind of grow, people are going to start being there on Wednesdays expecting a new video from you. So you don't have to necessarily say, every Wednesday at 12 o'clock, but every Wednesday should suffice, and people know that around this time you drop a new video. So get that as consistent as possible. And the reason you want to be consistent with an upload schedule is you want to work on your view velocity. So the more views, likes, comments, subscriptions, all that good stuff you get in the first 24 to 72 hours of a video will determine how good that video is going to do and if it gets into suggested videos. So that's why you want to work on your view velocity and have a consistent schedule. That way you have more people basically waiting to watch that video when you publish it. And step number 9, follow up. I'll quickly mention this before, but this is what I'm talking about. Very important step here. As you can see here, I have an example. Once you have a video that starts getting into suggested and you go to your analytics and confirm that, you want to immediately follow up a video with very similar content, very similar keywords to kind of help that get traction as well. So for an example here, this is the video that put me on the map here. As you can see from this screenshot, it was 45.5% suggested videos. That is pretty huge. Obviously, it's leading the way. This is what you want to see right here for each video. You want to see that suggested videos is the bulk of your traffic, not search. Again, you have to start with search, but eventually you want to end up here. So you can see that the traffic from this video, 45.5% is suggested. That's what you want to see. And immediately once I saw that, even back in these early days, this is a very old video and the thumbnail's horrible and all that stuff, but it's not really relevant anymore. But this video still gets about 40 to 50 views a day, and this is probably 4 years old. So once you see something like this, and this is definitely what you want to see that suggested videos at the top of your traffic sources list in your analytics, you want to follow up with something very similar. So in my case, once I saw this, I followed up with other similar theory type videos, and that's what helped put me on the map, and I started really snowballing at that point in time. And finally, the last tip here for this particular video, I know it's been a long one, but I want it to be thorough. Close the sale. Ultimately, you are selling you to the viewer. It doesn't matter what your content's about, whether you're doing reviews, whether you do makeup, whether you do unboxings, reactions, whatever. Ultimately, you're selling yourself. So after you provide that content, after you provide that value, ask viewers to like your videos, ask viewers to comment and subscribe to your videos. Once they're invested in you as a person, people actually want to see you succeed. I know that's hard to believe in some cases, but most people actually do. They want to see you do well once they become invested in you. They are more likely to respond to that call to action. So if you stuck around this long, and I really appreciate it if you have, I'm going to show you what I talked about before as far as how to not close out your video. So now what I'm going to do is put myself up in a corner, and now I'm already going to have end screens pop up on the screen about right now. And I'm going to tell you there's other videos here you can go watch. So anyway, if this video brought you value, I'm asking you to please hit that like button, comment below, let me know what your biggest challenges are on YouTube, and of course hit that subscribe button below so you won't miss anything when I drop a new video. So thanks for watching, and now go create something.